Congratulations. You have made it to the last module of the Power Phone-Ups orientation. Now, at this moment, however, it is imperative that we make a very important distinction. The distinction between knowledge and skill. Knowledge is what you know how to do. Skill is what you actually do. Let's take golf and talk about golf for just a few seconds. For example, you may know all the rules of the game. You may know all about the various techniques that will improve somebody's game. You may even be able to coach other players on the techniques for improving their game. You may be able to explain how to stand, how to swing, how to follow through. But all of that knowledge of the game won't improve your score one single stroke unless you actually use those techniques in your own game. What you use determines your skill level, not what you know. And the fact of the matter is that you only use what you practice. In our time together, we've been looking at an approach that will bring more phone-ups through the door. And whatever information you retain from viewing these modules will certainly increase your knowledge about how to handle phone-ups. But to be honest, you probably haven't improved your skill one bit. Handling phone-ups is just like playing golf. You only use what you practice. You may have ideas on how to control a conversation, how to extract a commitment from a caller. You may be able to explain it to somebody in great detail. But you won't be bringing in any more callers unless you actually use what's in this script guide. In fact, it really doesn't matter how much you know about phone-ups. The only thing that counts is what you say and how you say it. What you say to the prospect automatically, without thinking and selling, is the same as with any other profession, whether it's athletics, surgery, or piloting. There's only one way to improve your skill, and that is to practice. In order to bring more phone-ups through the door, the lines on your script guide must come off the page, go into your brain, and come out of your mouth at the appropriate time automatically without you having to think about it. The only way to make that happen is repetition. You must repeat these lines aloud over and over and over again and then over again. Repeat them aloud on your coffee breaks. Repeat them aloud when you're driving home. Think about the prospect side of the conversation and practice responding to what he or she might say. Repeat the lines aloud with someone who's willing to play the role of the prospect. Practice with your partner, a friend, or another salesperson. The only way to improve your skill is by practicing this procedure until you know the right thing to say in every situation and it comes out of your mouth automatically without you having to think about it. The good news is that is exactly what your private practice is for. As I mentioned before, private practice is one-on-one practice and role-playing over the telephone. Private practice is like having a sparring partner, a coach, or an instant replay camera all at once. Your private practice coach will work with you. By the way, each time you do a session, you will probably have a different private practice coach. In each of your sessions, you'll be the salesperson, and he or she is going to be the prospect. As I previously mentioned, your trainer will record your role plays. Then he or she will play back those role plays so you can hear exactly how you sounded. At every point in the conversation where you made an error, your coach will explain why what you said could be improved upon. They'll share with you what you could have said at that point in the conversation to make it better. Then you'll practice it again. Remember, practice doesn't make perfect. Only perfect practice makes perfect. The private practice service is the only way to be absolutely certain that you're getting perfect practice. To start, all you have to do is call the number on the back of your script guide. You can call for private practice Monday through Friday from 8:30 a.m. until 4:30 p.m. Eastern Time. You'll be prompted to leave your name, number, your dealership name, and location. At that point, somewhere between 30 minutes and 2 hours, a private practice trainer will call you back for your session. Now, let's say when the trainer calls you back that you're in the middle of a deal. Your coach will leave a 4-digit code on your voicemail or with the receptionist. The next time you call in, you'll use this code to go to, well, the front of the line, so to speak, and a trainer will get back to you very quickly. One quick thought: calling in for your private practice sessions early in the day and early in the week is the best way to get a call back the quickest. Also, please remember that using a script guide will feel awkward at first. You will probably go through a period of struggle with it. Then things will start to improve. The struggle phase is perfectly normal and to be completely expected. One last note on the concept of private practice. And I'll talk about golf again as an example, but the following points are true regardless of the endeavor. The greatest players in the world today can beat their coaches. They can make millions of dollars a year beating other players. But for years before they made their first dollar playing golf, they had to practice several hours a day. Even after they became the best in the world, they still practice for hours every day. You can imagine that type of practice, how boring it is. It's got to be boring because the very best they can ever even hope after a tremendous expenditure of effort in practice is that maybe, just maybe, they'd see a tiny improvement in their game. But what was far more likely is that all that effort would result only in their games not becoming worse. Well, the same is true of private practice. The better you become at controlling the conversation, and the better you get at delivering the correct responses, the less challenging practice becomes. But it still gives you the edge to stay on top of your game. After several weeks of private practice, you ought to be able to handle anything a practice coach or real prospect can throw at you. But in order to maintain your skill, just like the world's greatest golfers, you still need to practice. In summary, your company wants you to succeed. Speaking for the executives at MarineMax, we want to thank you for investing your time in this program. This is knowledge and skill that will serve you well the rest of your selling career. As for this moment, your journey to bringing more phone-ups through the door has just commenced. Good luck and great selling.